the details here at 5:30. Nearly 24 Americans have been killed and 17 Americans are now missing in the war in Israel, with an unknown number being held hostage by Hamas. Top officials said today that it's likely that number will continue to increase. Well, this as the number of those killed is mounting on both sides, and the scope of the atrocities inside Israel is becoming even more clear. Israeli officials say civilians were targeted and massacred. In Gaza, officials say at least 60% of the 5,000 injured are women and children. President Joe Biden held a roundtable with Jewish community leaders just a short time ago at the White House. He reaffirmed the unwavering support of the United States for Israel and discussed work to combat anti-Semitism right here at home. This as U.S. military support for Israel has already arrived there. ABC's Rena Roy now joining us live from New York with the latest on the U.S.'s response to the war. Rena.
Well, Shari, President Biden has made it crystal clear in multiple on-camera statements this week that the U.S. stands with Israel. U.S. firepower already in place off of Israel's coast, and more help is on the way. As the crisis deepens in the Middle East, with both Hamas militants and Israel Defense Forces continuing their attacks, the Biden administration saying they'll do whatever it takes to stand by Israel.
My commitment to Israel's security and the safety of the Jewish people is unshakable.
President Biden speaking with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu again Wednesday morning.
We have to be crystal clear. There is no justification for terrorism.
Meanwhile, the Washington Post capturing the acting U.S. ambassador to Israel getting emotional.
I'm just it's emotional being here as a mom, especially, and hearing the stories of children who were killed and abducted from here. The sights, the sounds, and the smells are unimaginable. Israel's defense ministry releasing these images of a cargo plane delivering what they say is the first shipment of munitions from the U.S. And the White House says more help is on the way. The Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group with several warships arrived in the region, and the Pentagon increased the number of American F-35 and F-15 warplanes in the Middle East, along with a replenishment for Israel's Iron Dome air defense system. This as U.S. officials try to track down at least 17 missing Americans. At least 22 have been confirmed dead. Secretary of State Antony Blinken heading to Israel Wednesday afternoon.
We lost 22 Americans. That number could still go up, and it probably will.
And the U.S. fears Hezbollah, a terrorist group based in Lebanon, which has already fired rockets into Israel from the north, will open a second front in the conflict. President Biden has strongly warned others not to get involved in this. Hezbollah, in response, releasing a statement blasting Biden and condemning America's involvement in this war. Live in New York, Rena Roy for Channel 6 Action News.
Okay, Rena, thank you. And we do want to share a programming note here. Tonight at 10, tune in for a special edition of 2020 right here on 6 ABC. Israel at war, living in terror. This for a closer look at life in Israel and in Gaza and how this attack is different from what we've seen in the region in the past.